Alright guys, today we're going to talk about some hardness testing. And I didn't record any of the actual hardness testing. My tester has a bunch of stuff around it right now. I had to move everything just to do the testing. So I'm just going to cover what I tested. Everything was done over a 5 hardness average. And I'll start out with the Z-Max here, the Mule. I did not get to do the other one before I sent it back. I did a paracord wrap on the handle, and I totally forgot to do the hardness test on it before I wrapped it and sent it out. So as you can see, this is the only one you're going to be able to see them on. There is a picture on my Instagram. Because I don't have a pedestal right now, I do have to take anything I do apart to test it. I did all the folders where they're hidden, especially because a couple of them are not mine. So starting out with the Z-Max here, tested this 740 feet, somewhere right around there in a 1-inch section. And this one averaged 69.1. I had seen a couple of these tested previously. They're all around 69. And seeing that the other one did within about 10 feet of this one or so, I'm going to go ahead and say that one is more than likely also 69, just like this particular mule right here. Really good with that. What we see maximum at runaround. And with these, I'm going to go in order of how I tested them. The next one is the S45 Para 3. This one did really well. This steel reminds me a lot of XHP. And I can't wait to pick one up myself and get to using it to see how it does. This particular one averaged 61.4. So really good. This is one example. I don't know if they're all run this hard. I hope they are, because so far the use and the testing I put on this, absolutely enjoying the S45. Next up was the Knife Center Cruwear with the Smooth G10. Now, this one I wasn't sure what the hardness was. I was just kind of guessing. Oh, had to get a drink. Okay. I was just guessing. This one sharpens up really nice. It has that nice amount of skate on the stones, and I actually figured it would be a little bit harder than what it actually is. This had a 5 test average of 62.1. Still perfectly happy with it. I have a couple other Cruwear right around 62. Really enjoy them. Straps back nice. Alright, I had to pause that for a minute. So 62.1 on the Cruwear here. I know absolutely what to expect out of it in use. And I will get the testing video of this done for you guys to see. I have some of these other ones. I will let you know if the testing is in progress or not. But not bad on this. Now, one thing I did notice when I took this apart, I know these just came out a few months ago. Actually came out for sale. I don't know if it was a thing with what's been going on the past year and a half. The blade on this was actually made in April of 2020. So these were like 16 months from the time they were made until when they were actually released. At least this particular one that I have right here. Next up, the DLT Cruwear PM2. I didn't do factory edge testing on this one, but this is another one I just haven't finished the video on yet. I did test this one, the 5 test average on this particular knife, and this one I did kind of expect because it feels quite different sharpening than the Knife Center does. This particular one is 61.5 of a 5 test average. I would have liked to see it a little harder. Still going to use it. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. And I know some people have asked, Kurt did test some through DLC, then he actually took the DLC off, tested them again, and it was a 0.1 or 0.2 difference in the actual hardness, so there's not some huge hardness gain to be added or lost from either one of these here. And I will get around to testing this one at some point. I did want to see what the hardness was on it. No, I haven't cut with it yet, and it's backwards from what I usually do. I usually don't want to know the hardness on anything before I test it. But these last couple, I just wanted to see what they actually were. I've seen these test anywhere from 63 to low 64 on the K390. The one that I tested back, I don't remember, it's been well over a year now, along with the 10V. I can't remember if I actually got a hardness. Actually, I didn't get a hardness. The person who sent it to me had already had it hardness tested. And that particular example was mid 63. Now, I'm not sure how much of a difference we're going to see. The 5 test average on this knife here was a 64.1. So K390 PM2, this will be coming at some point, but it is already, we're into the second week of December. That's probably not going to happen until maybe February or so before I'm going to be able to get around to this particular one that I haven't done anything with. The new Cruwear factory micarta, the PM2 that I skinnied. This one, I went ahead and did the mod, and while I had it apart, wasn't going to miss the chance to test it and see what the hardness was on it. And I was happy to see that, and I'm hoping that since these are both older, this was a 8 or 9 of 2019 manufacture date on the blade. Like I said, this one was April of 2020. This one is only a few months old on the manufacture date on the blade, and if you watch my other video, you already know the 5 test average on this was 63.8. It's a little bit harder than my original Cruwear Manix from 2014, and I'm happy to see it run here. You guys will see between this and when Cruwear gets into 63, there is a fair difference. And for those of you that are new, I have quite a lot of Cruwear. I have 5 more, 6 more, some that I'd say most that you guys probably haven't even seen, that will also be tested, and we'll get a really good idea of the different range of hardness on Cruwear and how it's actually going to cut. Next up, I did finally find this again a couple weeks ago. My Z-Wear Shaman. No, I don't like it any better. I did want an example of my own to test, and back when they came out, I was able to pick one up. As you guys can see, I'll just go ahead and cover this real quick. It's got a ton of blade play in it. And along with that blade play, the action on it is absolutely horrible. And that's because the pocket clip screws up here, for whatever reason, when they were tapped through the liner, have a huge burr on the inside of the liner. And it has worn 3 shiny spots on each washer. I still have to fix that. When I took it apart to see what was going on, I did go ahead and hardness test it. And this has a 5 test average of 64.5. I will get around to testing this. It is still on the factory edge. I haven't used it or done anything with it. A big reason for that is not long after I got it, it got put somewhere, and it took me quite a while to find it. You guys know how long ago these actually came out. The last one is not a Spyderco. This Gerber fastball has been sitting around for quite a while here. And for a totally different video, there's a lot of things I don't like about this. I'll cover it when I actually do the video on it. I did go ahead and do a 5 test average on this also, and this came out to 59.6 for S30V. Not sure how well they do it, but since I have the chance to test it, I'm going to go ahead and test it, and then this is most likely going to become a pass-around knife. Haven't seen a ton of videos on this for people to actually use and do whatever with and see how it does. I still have a bunch of people ask. The 3 Cruwear shark test is coming. All the cutting's been done. I'm almost done with the video. Hopefully I'll be able to have that out soon. My own sharks, the K390, 4V, Cruwear, and S90V. 3 of those I've tested already. I just haven't actually done the video for them. Not sure when I'm going to get around to that. But at least the hard part's done. So all I have to do is actually do the beginning and end of the video section. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. And once I do get totally moved here in the next 2 to 3 weeks, starting next year, I may actually, for those of you who are wanting a hardness on something, I might do a little bit of that. I'm not sure how I'm going to work it yet, but that will be something that I will offer to people since I have the machine, that they can go ahead and send stuff, at least the stuff they send to cut with, that I'll then be able to get a hardness to go along with the cutting. And before I go, I am still going to do the polish cutting on this, and that is going to happen very quickly so that I can get this back before I move. That's all I have for this. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything like that, I love to discuss them. As far as Cruwear goes, for those of you that want to know, and if you watch this long, the early Cruwear stuff was run in the 63 plus range, the original Mannix, the military, and then the vast majority of them are in the 61 to 62 range, as we're seeing, as well as the other Mannix that I have, the smooth carbon fiber Cruwear and the smooth G10 Cruwear. Those are also in that 61 to 62 range. And I'm hoping now this is what we're seeing. I know that Cody tested some of his. I'm not going to discuss his results unless he isn't going to do a video about it. But I'm just going to say that you guys will be happy to hear the results of his PM2 and his Z-Wear as well. So that's all I have. As always, I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.